And this is it. It has been 2 years since a new episode of No Laugh Track Podcast. No, it's been 2 weeks. But it feels like 2 years because I love doing this No Laugh Track Podcast here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis. Episode 470 for those keeping score at home with a repeat guest. 3, 4, 5, I don't know, times 5 maybe, Joe Zimmerman?
It's got to be, we got to be cracking that 5 right around now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a, much like Saturday Night Live, you'll be given a coat later.
Great.
Yeah, it's part of the 5 Timers group.
Yeah, I'd like to know who else is in the 5 Timers Club.
There's quite a few.
I want to know who the Steve Martin of the No Laugh Track is, with the most hosting appearances of anyone.
Well, I'll let you know about that. Well, I got to crunch some numbers here. But good to have you back. It's been since April of 2021.
18 months.
Yes,
16 months.
I was not going to fact check that. I was just going to go with 18.
Yeah.
So 16 months?
I think so, yeah. I mean, whoever wants to do the math on
16 and a half and 4 No, I don't know.
Don't hold back.
Well, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Of course, we talked briefly before the show last night. I was here. We didn't talk afterwards. You didn't maybe see me during the show. I was here, actually, during the show as well, not just before.
Okay.
I stayed.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing. I actually didn't see you in the crowd, so you must have been in the back.
We're just not too far back.
You're
for the
like
record.
front row.
Yeah, not front row.
All right. Cool.
Don't you remember I was commenting at all? I was trying to.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
No. So I went to the Minnesota State Fair on Tuesday. Did not go see the headlining act that night. It was Jim Gaffigan.
Whoa. Okay.
Jim Gaffigan. Yeah, headliner. All the other nights, it's old rock bands and whatnot. Tuesday night, Jim Gaffigan. Last night, I'm here at Acme. There's a guy sitting in the front row here. I don't know if we could check the tape and maybe get a screenshot of this, or maybe that'd be really weird. But did you notice the guy that looked exactly? It was Jim Gaffigan's doppelganger in the front row here.
I missed him completely.
You missed him completely.
I would have commented if I'd seen it.
Like, hey, thanks for sticking around for my show.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to the fair tomorrow. I have no idea what is there. I just keep hearing a lot about it.
You said that last night, so you're really going to go, huh?
I mean, I'm not up there just telling lies, Justin. I don't see why that's so unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable. We're just so happy to welcome you to our event in Minnesota that we are so damn proud of.
Yeah. Biggest? Is it the biggest in the world? Is that true?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
absolutely. So what have you been told to look forward to? Do you have any idea?
No,
what
nothing. My friend, I was going to play golf with my buddy up here, and then he was like, hey, change of plan. Minnesota State Fair. Let's go to that.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
And if he wants to go, that means it must be a big deal.
It is. I know you asked the crowd last night if they could recommend anything.
And I heard cheese curds.
Cheese curds. Yep. I think my wife was one of the people that yelled out cheese curds.
Nice.
We're big fans of those.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend, how much do you like milk?
Spending a day eating cheese curds and milk right before 2 shows sounds perfect.
Let me rephrase it,
in the
Joe.
heat, in 95-degree weather.
Let me rephrase it,
Cheese
Joe.
curds and milk.
How much?
I get so pumped up for milk. No wonder everybody's hyped up about this fair. You got milk and cheese.
Why do you think I'm mentioning it first? Yes.
Not to mention beer.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. I went with my 2 daughters and was like, I'm not gonna. I had 4 beers just hanging around with my. It's like they have beer every 20 feet at the state fair. So if you have any interest in alcohol, in beer specifically, you can't go through the fair without buying a few cups. It's everywhere, and they have so many.
And so I also can't do that tomorrow before shows. So what's going on with the milk?
Let's go back to that. So how much milk? And I'm willing to do this. I will give you $2 because that's how much it costs. All you can drink.
Is that a penalty or a reward?
You know what? I take it back. You're gonna have to pay for it yourself because then you'll be more in the mood to get your money's worth, right? I give you $2. You're probably just gonna give it a taste and be like, all right, I did it. You spend your own money. You're gonna be like shooting for some sort of record.
There's different regions of milk?
It's just white. as far as I
Different.
remember. When I was a kid, it was a quarter for all you can drink. Now it's up to $2. And the cookies that a lot of people shouted out to you last night in the audience are not really close to that stand. So it's not that, like you've heard like these Girl Scouts show up in front of like pot dispensaries, right?
Oh, right,
and they
yeah.
sell their cookies to people that just
Yeah.
bought some edibles. You would think that they would do the same at the state fair and have the cookies right next to the milk, vice versa. It's not like that.
I mean, I was waiting to easily be sold on the fair, and so far all I've heard is that there's milk and that it's far away from the cookies. I don't understand what's going on.
You know what else? Here's another thing that's around that area. There's only one spot. Like, there's several spots to get the cookies. None are close to the milk. There's one spot with the all-you-can-drink milk. It's also in an area where you need to watch out where you're stepping because often horses are on display. They have a little parade and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they don't always clean up the manure right away.
Sure.
So you always have to be careful not to step in a pile in the middle of the street. Does that sell you on it?
I know
Possibly stepping in cow shit.
I know you're ready to move on from the milk recommendation. I don't understand. Is it different types of milk?
No.
It's one type of milk?
Yes, it's just, Kemp's 2%.
That's it.
Yes.
Is there anyone really jumping on this all you can drink?
They do. Honestly, Joe, I haven't done it since I was a kid, like with my dad. Like, hey, let's each, we'd, belly up and he'd flip out 2 quarters and we'd.
So there's horse manure and then people barfing milk.
Yes. And if that's not enough, real close to there is one of the Twin Cities hip-hop stations. So if you feel the need to, bust a move after your belly full of milk.
Yeah, biggest fair in the world. I'm ready. Hopefully the hip-hop station is right by the milk people.
Yeah, they're like from me to you almost. Yeah.
Wow,
Yes.
incredible. Well, I'll be there tomorrow. I've heard about cheese curds, milk, hip hop, and cookies, and a reptile station.
I recommend the Reptiles.
Great.
Yes. Yep.
Great. Are they local Minnesota reptiles?
No. Worldwide. And there's also the DNR pond where they stock it each year with freshwater fish that you can find in lakes in Minnesota.
The do not resuscitate pond.
That's right. Well, I have no idea why you're not supposed to resuscitate these fish.
The DNR pond. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Be sure and check out the DNR pond. It's included in the admission into the state fair. There's no extra. And what you do is you just walk up to this, cement pond and you go, that one's big. Hey, look at that one. That one's small. You think the big one's going to eat the small one, but they just swim right by each other.
I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised there aren't fairs just going on constantly.
You're surprised there's not a live feed of that right now that we could tune into.
There probably is at this point.
There probably is.
3 people watching.
Yes. All right. Do you need to know anything about the state fair? Are you?
I feel good now. I feel good. I think I just heard what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pretty much won't be able to sleep tonight.
I'll tell you.
Good luck.
I'll tell you if I see anything different than what you just described.
Fair enough. So last time we were here was episode 411. Like we said, April of 2021. So I need to ask, did you do what you did last time and take a walk before we did this podcast today without your phone to rehearse, get your set ready for tonight? Because last year you did that and then got lost. Do you remember this?
Oh, that rings. No, I don't remember. It just sounds like something that I would have done. It's coming back. It's coming back. Yes.
It was the difference between a South
Ooh,
3rd Avenue
yeah.
and North or something?
Now it's coming back vividly.
Yeah.
I went for a walk, no phone, so I can focus. I was planning to do that later today.
Well, okay.
And it also forces you to keep working on the material because after about 20 minutes, you're usually like, check the phone, and then you're done. But without the phone, you just have to keep working, which sucks. But you keep going, you keep working, and then all of a sudden, you have no idea what part of the city you're in. And normally, people in most cities, because this happens a lot, I guess, are pretty good at being like, yeah, here's where 2nd Street is. There's where Acme Comedy Club is. I asked half a dozen people. They didn't know anything about 2nd Street or the Whole Foods or Acme. at least half of them pointed me in a direction that was just the wrong direction. So I was getting further away. And then a bus driver, like a city bus driver, couldn't tell me.
What?
I finally found my way to you after a second city bus driver told me where to go.
You know what? A year ago, there was a driver shortage. He might have been very new on the job.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
with
might have
COVID
been
and everything, yeah.
it was COVID.
Very
yeah.
possible.
People might have just not wanted to talk to me.
And just a reminder to people that when you were here last year, we were still kind of in the middle of that. And it was
Oh, yeah.
half capacity here. Not anymore. Every
Yeah.
seat's open and available.
That's right.
That's right. So I want to talk about some things we in the last time you were here. So we talked. You got lost. You haven't done that yet today, but it still may happen
It might happen, yeah.
between now and the
Although
show
it's a little
this
too
evening.
hot, I'm probably going to have to just isolate in the AC.
Fair enough.
If I got lost out there, 92 degrees would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You need to tell somebody where you're going. You
Yeah.
need to. Like that joke of yours with having the alibi everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay, so last time we talked about you were doing a blog at the time.
Yes.
Yes.
Love
Is the
it.
blog going? Is you contributing to the blog anymore?
I love that you brought this up. It's been an ongoing situation where I'm like, I'm going to keep doing that blog. And then I haven't, but I enjoyed blogging. It was a lot of people. I got a very good response. I've learned that on the things to do list, a blog tends to come up around number 733. So you really have to be passionate. If you want a blog, you got to be passionate about that blog, because there is nobody urging you to do a blog except for Justin once every 16 months. You're like the third. You, my mom, and my girlfriend have asked me when I'm going to blog again. And my friend in Switzerland is like, your blog is so good. So I have 4 people that are like really into
Well,
it.
how many more do you need to get back into it? I mean,
I'm ready.
are we not the 4 people you care about the most?
You just pushed it over the top.
My God, what more do me and your girlfriend and your mom and Swiss guy need to do?
You just pushed it over the top.
Swiss Mr.
back.
Swiss.
I'm back.
Jeez. Good. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. But so here's the thing. So one of the things that you were talking about in that blog and that we discussed last time were some stock tips. Uh-oh. Where's this going?
You saw how badly they did?
Uh-oh.
I hope you didn't invest in my stock tip.
I did in one of them. That day I did, Joe. Not even joking. Not a lot, but I absolutely did and have lost almost all of that money.
So,
I can show you on my phone. I promise you it's true.
I believe you. I can't believe how bad those stocks have done. I mean, could have seen it coming. Comedian recommends stocks, but still, they did shockingly bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
every once in a while you throw a dart with your in a blindfold and you hit the.
Now, my
Hit the
only
board, I
defense
guess,
is
right?
my stock recommendations are on a 3-year period, so it's not over till the fat lady sung.
Sure. So I should just I'll skip over this. But we'll revisit this in 3 years.
You want to buy and hold for 3 years, at which point you will be beating the market.
So the first one that you mentioned to me on the podcast last year, 16 months ago, was a company that makes cameras for policemen's
Oh, yeah.
uniforms. Axon.
Axon?
Axon.
Yeah.
Axon. X-off. It has dropped in the last year
Uh-huh.
35.8%.
That's, Justin, that's right on par with what the NASDAQ has dropped.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can't be too embarrassed about that, guys.
That's not the one I invested in. All right. Ready? Next one's Planet Fitness.
Okay.
Current price of that $65.25 a share. That was of this morning, actually. So
Okay.
maybe it's changed slightly. In the last year, that's dropped only 16.68.
Beating the market. Thank you.
That's a win?
Well, you want to watch what the stock market has done over that time, and the stock market is down about 20%, give or take, over that time.
Yeah.
So Planet Fitness, fine.
Doing well.
I mean, I'm not like celebrating a 16% loss, but it has been a horrible market. So that's beating the market.
All right. And then we have the one that I invested in.
I'm afraid to find out. I'm afraid to find out what it is. And I never said buy one stock. You got to get some diversity.
I said, promise, give me one that you promise I'll make money in. I said, give me one recommendation that you will stake your career on.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm curious what it's going to be.
Well, it's a Sweden-based oat drink company. You know the one.
Oatly.
Oatly.
Very passionate about Oatly. The stock performance has not matched up with the quality of the product.
The current price of Oatly stock as of this morning, the 1st of September, 2022.
Yeah.
$3.08.
Mm-hmm.
In the last year, it has dropped 82%, Joe. 82.
Give it some time. It's a buy and hold. Oh, oat futures. Justin, we could not have predicted the inflation of oat futures would drive their profits down so far. It's an inflation problem, Justin. I apologize. I didn't see this inflation coming. I'm not a macro economist. I don't know anything about finances, actually. All I know is that I'm drinking Oatly oat milk right now, and it's a delicious beverage, and at some point, that's probably going to maybe.
Has a stock ever come back from being to 82% down, 83% down, whatever I just said?
Oh, yeah. Amazon. Sure. Let me tell you a great story about a company called Amazon.com.
Vaguely familiar.
Down 96% on the .com boom. Even if you'd bought at the top of that 96% drop, even if you'd lost 96%, you'd now still be up like 100 or 200x your initial investment.
So hold on to Oatly, you're saying?
I mean, yes, if it's going to be the next Amazon, you are going to crush it. But yeah, no, lots of stocks have come back from those kind of drops, but it does take patience.
Do you subscribe to Oatly Prime? Do you watch TVs on
I still have my
Oatly streaming service?
Justin, I feel bad for your loss. I still have my Oatly, so I'm in the tank with you at least.
Okay, well, I feel better about that.
At least I'm in the tank with you.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, well, now we covered that.
But I'm going to hold back from recommending stocks to friends because I forgot about the possibility of gigantic losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't ask you for any new ones. We'll just stick with what we had. We'll absolutely just stick with what we had. I
got no new Rex.
Fair enough. I need to compliment you on something you've been doing for several years, and you're continuing to do it. It's just getting bigger and bigger part of your act. I think
my abs.
Your abs? No, not your abs. Part of your act.
Oh.
And that would be talking about birds.
Yes.
I don't ever stop.
Okay.
Brandon and I, a couple weeks ago, you had posted some new video about the. I reposted it today on my Facebook. The not the obnoxious birder. The arrogant birder.
God, I did a new comedy sketch called The Arrogant Birder,
which is hilarious. I came in and talked to Brandon a few days after I saw that, and I brought it up to him. I'm like, I'm so glad. Aren't you just? We both just agreed that we're so glad that you're sticking with that.
Yeah.
With that topic because it's yours.
I hope. Yeah, I would love to just be the bird guy, Birdman. But yeah, I'm really just pushing the limits of what the audience can tolerate. But
so I'm gonna give you so now on the reverse of pointing out how you completely bombed on those stocks.
Yes.
Here's one you got right.
Okay.
Last year we were talking about merchandise, and I was talking about how much I love my Kelpie the Seal T-shirt from a few years ago, based on one of your jokes. And then you said, "Well, I don't have a T-shirt right now, but a future one will probably be bird related."
Whoa!
And I'm at the show last night, and you're selling a bird related T-shirt.
And I didn't even have that particular bird joke until a few months ago.
I was going to say, and I never heard it before.
So I mean, I really saw into the future.
Huh? Way to go. Way to go. Mind blown.
Bet you wish you'd invested in that.
Exactly. How can I make money if Joe starts making a bird shirt? It's gonna happen. So, did you?
I just signed up for an e-commerce site today. Actually, I'm going to try to get all sorts of, bird-related merch available online
Seriously?
that I don't have to buy physically. They just make it online. There's all these sites now where you can just enter in the design, and then they make it, and people can buy it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, all I want to say about the arrogant birder video that I think is so funny is one of the things in the beginning is you have your own binoculars.
Oh yeah.
And I need to know, were those really yours? Were they a prop? Where did they come from?
Old-fashioned binoculars.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a crazy serendipity. This videographer, really good videographer, Studio Modern, flew up from Alabama and stayed in Airbnb just to film these.
Oh.
And in his Airbnb were these tiny, ridiculous, old-fashioned binoculars.
No.
And I was like, I need a second pair of binoculars. And he was like, will these work? And I was like, oh my, that's like the best part of the sketch.
Yes. I mean, as far as the props go, it certainly is. It definitely adds to it.
I loved it. It's unbelievable. And they work too. They're not great, but they work.
Oh, so they weren't necessarily, they were a functioning prop, you're saying?
They're functioning, yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Those are just at the Airbnb.
How many birds have you seen now? How many have you registered?
I need to check the eBird.org account, but I believe I'm around 159, which doesn't sound like that many, but basically I go real hard March, April.
Okay.
And I've gone real hard March, April 2 years in a row now.
Okay.
So that's been 2 springs of bird watching.
Why only springs?
Well, that's the migration season. That's when it's like the Pokemon Go experience where you're like getting all the birds as they come through. And then they're gone. They migrate wherever they go. Nobody knows where they're going. And
no one. That's right.
I have friends.
Like they just disappear.
I've taken some friends bird watching, and I don't think they realize I'm still not an expert, and just because I talk about it so much. And they're like, "Where are they migrating to?" And I'm like, "Probably somewhere warmer, but God knows. Nobody knows." I don't know. So they come through hard in the spring, and then they also come back through not quite as hard, I think, because, I don't know, I think half of them died or something.
Sounds right.
I'm not sure exactly, but they come through not quite as hard in the fall. So right now is another prime month to have your eyes open.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I'm around 159. Yeah.
There's an interesting, you being in town right now and then this happening in Minnesota. Did you happen to look at the local paper this morning?
I am excited to find out whatever you're about to say. I have no idea. But if it involves a bird, that's amazing.
This was in the newspaper yesterday here in the Twin Cities. 4 birds escaped the Minnesota Zoo's tropics area in early July, and officials there are asking for help from Minnesota's birding community in returning them. Joe, you could be a hero. Get out there. Skip the fair. You got to find these birds.
What are the 4 birds?
The 4 African magpie shrieks? 4 African magpies. We'll call them that.
Somebody tell the Minnesota Zoo that they are in Africa now. They have wings.
First place I'd look, Africa.
They're not hanging out in St. Paul on top of a building with winter coming.
What if they just went to like an African restaurant and were like perched on the roof or something?
Local Ethiopian cuisine.
Yeah, it's good stuff. They're also known as African long-tailed shrieks, as you, of course, I'm sure you
Shrieks
knew.
or shrikes?
Shrikes. I don't know, but shrikes doesn't sound right, does it? Shrikes?
Is it?
Shrikes. It's probably shrikes.
Shrikes, yeah.
Yeah, shrikes.
It'd be funny to just call a bird a shriek.
It's more fitting, isn't it? Of course, the other ones might be jealous since it fits them. So do you
African magpie shrike?
African magpie shrikes, also known as African long-tailed shrikes.
Mm-hmm.
They flew out of an emergency exit that had been mistakenly left open in the aviary.
Whoa.
Whoa! Job opening.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
One of the birds has been recovered so far and returned to its zoo habitat. The slowest one.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that they got any of them.
Yeah. What if it's like
It's a whole world to fly away to.
So, says of the one has been returned. The others, all females, are still missing. Though they have been seen. There have been sightings near the zoo in Apple Valley. The birds are black and short-bodied with distinctive white patches on their shoulders and wings. They have a long, flappy tail. Zoo officials said. What if somebody found a bird that just is sort of similar and then like painted the dots on? Like, I found it. Where's the reward?
That's the type of thing that if a birder didn't know about it, it would be the day of their life.
Right?
To be like, is that an African long-tailed shrike?
Yeah. In Mankato?
That's 2,000 miles away from its normal habitat this time of year. E-bird would go wild.
The shrikes, by the way, aren't the first birds to go missing at the zoo. In October 2021, a Eurasian eagle owl named Gladys escaped during a routine exercise and training session. Oh, sad ending to this one. She was likely hit by a car and died.
Likely, okay. Somebody's like, is that Gladys? They're like, it probably is.
She wouldn't answer to her name, so they didn't know for sure.
Oh, yeah.
She used to answer to Gladys.
Eurasian eagle owl, you said?
Yeah.
Nice.
Eurasian eagle owl. Do you have a check mark next to that one?
I have not seen a Eurasian eagle owl. I've seen a great horned owl and a barred owl, both in Central Park, both delightful, both half asleep.
Both half asleep, but you can confirm that it was them.
By the way, somebody really did say to me in the comments online, because I have a joke about, is that a whippoorwill? And I'm looking at a bird. Somebody said to me in the comments, like really seriously, like, you don't know anything about birds because whippoorwills only come out at night. So you wouldn't be able to see a whippoorwill. And first of all, I looked up whippoorwills. They come out an hour before the sun sets, so you can see whippoorwills. Also, it's a joke. It's a funny sounding bird name. But I will fight him to the death.
Yes!
Because I saw a whippoorwill. It's bird number 4.
Have you just quickly? I want to give people some more facts. So you said you're at 150 something in the amount of birds that you're.
I'm pretty sure 159.
159. Yeah. Have you looked and seen what the record is? Like all-time birders.
A few years ago, I looked up how many birds there are in the world, and supposedly 1 or 2 people have seen all of the birds, and it's around 9,000.
Yeah.
But nobody knows exactly how many bird species there are. So is that what you got, 9,000?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. 9,768, someone claims, the person who's number 1. Claes Goran Cedarlund.
Is it a woman or man?
Well, most Claeses I know are... I have no idea.
Well, the article I read said when she saw her last bird, somewhere in Africa or something, she fell to her knees and wept.
Oh.
Bird 9,978.
Wow.
That'd be a lifetime of searching.
That'd be a great ending to her life movie.
Yeah,
right.
Or just her life. She passed away doing what she loves, which is seeing every bird.
I got one final thing. Celebrity birders.
Oh.
Do you know there's a list of that on Wikipedia?
I'm only aware of the author who wrote Freedom. What's his name? Anyway, I'm only aware of the author. No, I'm
Well,
not.
you should be on this list, is what I'm saying, and you're
Oh,
not.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some other names
I
here.
mean, I've only had 2 springs so far, but
We don't know these people's credentials, and they're on the list.
Good call.
Comedian Tig Notaro.
She's a bird watcher?
Yes.
What?
Comedian Steve Martin.
Well, I know that. I knew that because he made a movie about bird watching that I haven't seen, that everybody keeps asking me if I've seen.
You should just start telling people you've seen it.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger, rock star Mick Jagger.
Okay, I don't believe that for 1 minute.
I don't either, actually. That's why I wrote that one down. I
Yeah.
don't believe that one for a second either.
He's not birding.
No, how about this one? Cameron Diaz.
I believe that she's gone on safari a few times. I don't see her getting up at 6 a.m.
You don't think she has the app?
I don't see her getting up at 6 a.m. going down and playing the bird Shazam app.
Is there one?
Of course there is. It's called Merlin. It's owned by eBird.org.
Of course it is. Have you
From
tried to trick it? Like, ooh, 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 ooh.
That's a good idea. It comes back. That is a human imitating
That's a human idiot.
a Eurasian eagle owl.
That is a human dodo. Booby. Van Morrison, rock star Van Morrison. Birder.
Okay, I mean, I want some more credentials, but all right.
All right, and then one final one I'll give you. There were many more. Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty cool list of
It
birders.
raises the status.
Pretty cool list.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, not bad. Not
In other
bad.
words, you're in good company.
From what I understand, I thought I was like doing something original, but now I've heard that there was some sort of bird watching explosion during the pandemic. So I'm just another sheep following the herd to the birds. I had
And
no
you're
idea.
just, in other words, like a mockingbird?
I am a mockingbird.
Huh?
Nice.
Uh,
Nice, Justin.
Thank you. So, but let's keep in mind here, Tig, very famous, successful comedian,
Yeah.
not known for the bird jokes. Huh? It
Yeah.
can still be yours, even though she's known as a birder.
I'm impressed that she has a passion for birding and hasn't brought that into her act. That's impressive.
It's right.
Yeah. Because it just seems like there's so much. Every time I go bird watching, I'm like, well, that's another joke I could do, but I can't make the whole thing about birds. It just seems so ripe.
Well, they do when people go to what's it, Edinburgh, and they do their like
Mhm.
1 hour, their specials that is just on one topic.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
like it.
There you go. Well, we told Brandon we'd keep it to a half an hour. We've already gone past that by a few minutes, so we're going to put a bow on this thing. Is there anything
Nice.
else we should be mentioning, Joe?
Let's see. I've been hitting the Instagram hard,
Yes.
posting clips.
Yeah, I noticed that. Well, tons of material from your act up on Instagram.
At Joe Zimmerman. I just want to say there's been some studies out about social media, and they're trying to figure out if social media makes teenagers sad. And the answer they found is yes, obviously it does. And it's because of comparison. And basically what's happening is all the hot people are thriving on Instagram. Like the hot people have 1 million likes and the not hots have like 4 likes. And what I'm realizing is it's not the hot people's fault. It's our fault for liking their photo. So the next time you see a hot person's photo, show some self-control. Redistribute your like to a friend in need, okay?
Do you have one in mind?
My buddy Greg posted a photo going to a new Batman movie. 7 likes. I think he thought it would do great.
Yeah.
It did not. And he appreciates those likes a lot more than model Jasmine Jasmanovic. So yeah, I think one of my new things is to be the Robin Hood of social media, evenly distribute or create a new social media app that's just socialist media. Everybody gets 10 likes.
Everybody starts with 10?
Everyone starts with 10 and ends with 10.
I love it.
Yeah,
love
thank you for having me. I appreciate you coming out to the show again.
Of course. And when you come back in a year or so, I will grill you and we'll follow up on anything that you may have mistakenly said this year.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel very bad that I lost you all of your net worth on Oatly. My only hope is that I come back next year and we're back to even. And then in 2 years, boom. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. We'll record this in your penthouse.
So at the 3-year mark, you can officially determine how far off I was on an Oatly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I'll hold you to that. Thank you, Joe.
All right.
Boom.